fabulous Valerie Hager. She is a movement artist, actress, and solo show writer-performer. Her most celebrated solo show, Naked in Alaska, won the Best Solo Show Award in Fringe NYC, Audience Favorite in Chicago Fringe, Pick of the Fringe in 2014, International Edinburgh Fringe Festival, as well as last May touring to Rome, Italy. Aside from performing, Valerie teaches with her husband, Scott W. Slavin, director of Naked in Alaska, and together they've created Solo Fire, a soulful approach to personal history narrative writing and performance. This year, Naked in Alaska will be making its debut at the prestigious Last Frontier Theater Conference in Valdez, Alaska. Got it all down. More information at, and she's fabulous, www.valeriehager.com. So let's give it up to Valerie Hager.
I'm going to do a storytelling piece. I'm standing bare feet on the ledge of a huge gap. It looks like a chunk of the earth has been gouged out, and there is no way to pass. When I look down into the bottom of the gap, it's so far down that I can't see where it ends. The air is thick, the night damp, the sky gray. I should be cold, but my arms burn with heat. I look down again into the gap, and on the sides of the wall, branches like skinny broken arms poke out of the rock. Suddenly, in the distance, on the other side of the gap, I see a white horse. It stops. It takes me in, locks eyes with mine. Then it turns and runs lightning speed into the wilderness beyond the gap. The horse gone, a new vision appears. Me, in my unrealized life, dancing and drumming and singing with friends around a sacred circle. The image change. They fade in and out like a mirage. Another vision appears. I'm basking in the sun. My heart exploded. Clean. My arms spread wide open. My feet mountain pose. Another vision. This one really blurry. I am hand in hand with my own unborn child. Back to the ledge. My bare feet settle into the thick mud ground. Suddenly, everything around me falls away except for the gap in front of me and my unrealized life on the other side. There's no way to get across, but to go down and into the belly of the gap. I don't know if I can do it. I slowly turn around and bend. I grip the ledge with the palm of my hands as my feet one at a time, lower into the gap. My feet find the rock. My toes curl and wrap themselves around it. I release one hand from the ledge. I grip another rock. I keep going. They aren't wet rocks. They're dry rocks, as if they've been without rain for hundreds of years. I peek down and I see what looks like a route down the rock wall. But it's so far down I can't see the bottom. It's just blackness and endless silence. Another step down, and then another. I've always been good at climbing rocks, trees even. My mom, she nicknamed me Monkey. The further down I go, the air gets thicker, my chest tighter, one rock at a time. Until I slip. My foot loses grip completely, then my hands until I'm falling into the abyss, into the belly of the gap. I try to scream, yell, give a voice to the terror in me, but no sound comes out, none. I just keep falling. My life flashing before me, my regrets, my shame, my failures, I should have been there. Why did I wait? All of it burning inside of me as I fall to my death. I squeeze my eyes shut, as if that would somehow make it easier, somehow make it better. And then it all just goes black. I hit the ground. I open my eyes. I'm not dead. I don't think. I have somehow landed in the center of the gap, without injury. I am in a ball, crouching, my hands flat against the rock, and I look up to what seems like hundreds of feet above, and I see the white horse. He's peering down at me again, and then gone. My hands cup the dirt with relief. I put my face to the rubble. I smell the rock and the muck, and I breathe in the thick air. I slowly start to rise, back first. I bring my head up last, still on one knee. I hear a humming. A small girl stands in front of me. It's as if she's been playing in the mud. Dirt on her cheek, she's maybe 5. She has long, messy, unbrushed, hair. Brown, wavy hair. Thick bottle cap glasses, and she's wearing a white shirt, brown smudge on the collar. A red vest with a pocket in the front and a blue skirt. She isn't smiling. Her hands hang by her sides with a look that says, "What are you doing here?" Her fingernails rimmed with mud, her knees are bruised purple and blue. She's barefoot too. I slowly stand to my feet, stepping with full weight onto the bed of the rocks beneath me. I see a large amethyst and a quartz crystal. I see faces and shapes of the rocks along the wall that I didn't see before. Familiar faces. I see worn notebooks, scattered pages torn out with the edges burned, handwriting that looks like mine. I see pictures tossed everywhere, some stuck half in the muck, some with dirt and rock covering the images, some with dark red markers scribbled so deep over the faces I can still see the whole images from my life. There's a fire burning off to the side, a small fire. And I realize in this instant that this girl is me. She picks up a rock and she chucks it at me. I duck. I stand here still for a chest, a standoff with this kid. Little V, little me. She stomps on the images and the pages from the notebooks and the notebooks themselves. She is so angry. She's on the other side of the small fire, and I realize that this is her home. She gets out a red pen and a purple piece of paper, and she writes, "Where did you go? Why did you leave me here? I hate you." She holds her paper up in front of her face. She hands me her paper and her red pen. I write on the other side, "Sorry." She snatches it back, she rips it in half, and she tosses it into the fire beside her. She just stands there now, arms crossed, staring at me. I sit, arms uncrossed, taking her in. She grabs another paper from the floor, this time orange. Her pen still red. She writes in huge bubble letters, "It's all your fault. Everything is all your fault." She crumbles the paper into a ball and she throws it at me. I catch it. This goes on for a while. Her writing, her crumbling, and her throwing. I catch each one. I put them all into the triangle shape made from my crisscross applesauce legs. The final paper she writes, but she doesn't let me see. This one she doesn't crumble. She keeps. She folds it into the tiniest of notes, and she puts it right there in her front pocket in that red vest. She walks over to me and she sits down, facing the side of me, and I turn to face her head on, our knees touching. She takes the tiny note out of her pocket, and I notice her eyes suddenly soften, her shoulders relax, mine too. She leans forward and she gently grabs my hand and opens it and presses this tiny note into my palm, and she tells me, "Read this one out loud." I am lost and scared. I needed you. I still need you. It begins to rain. The air less thick. I feel the drops hit my cheeks. I taste the water mixed with my salty tears. She extends her small hand to mine. I take it. And together, we rise.
Really moving. Thank you so much, Valerie.
Hi, my name is Valerie Hager, and I was so honored to be a part of Celebration of Women's Day at Queen's Council of the Arts, hosted by the lovely Joan. I feel like what it meant to me to be able to share my story there in a room of artists celebrating a day like Women's Day. It was liberating, it was empowering, it was life-affirming, and I would describe Joan as an exquisite human being who sort of like lives on this planet to help ignite cracking open hearts in everyone else that she meets, and bringing us together to connect and form relationships that are long-lasting. And when I left the Women's Arts Celebration Day at Queen's Council of the Arts, I felt uplifted, enlivened, and absolutely inspired by the stories that I heard and the women that I shared the evening with. Isn't this what life is about, is sharing our hearts, expanding our minds and connecting with others, and realizing that we are all the same, ultimately wanting and striving to be seen, heard, and loved. Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Queen's Council of the Arts.